The Kansas City Chiefs are again Super Bowl champions, which of course brings up that question that everyone's asking. Are they now in the dynasty category? Are they headed towards the dynasty category? What constitutes a dynasty in your eyes?
Things have changed. In a pre-salary cap era and a pre-free agency era, a dynasty was the Green Bay Packers,
right,
winning championships every year. Paul Brown and the Browns before that, winning championships every year. Those are true dynasties, where the other teams just couldn't keep up year after year after year.
Yeah.
Then of course, the sport and the game evolves a little bit to the point where you have the Dallas Cowboys making the playoffs under Tom Landry 20 straight years. That's pretty dynastic. You've got the Patriots under Bill Belichick with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That's a dynasty. That many rings over the course of that time, that's not dynastic, that's a dynasty. And so I think we're bending the definition a little bit, and maybe there's some recency bias to this too.
Yeah.
Because it just happened.
And some excitement factor too, because Patrick Mahomes is unlike any other quarterback in the league. Right?
And so likable, and Andy Reid is like, the personalities are likable, so you want to attach yourself to them.
Kelsey is like so loud and out there.
Yeah, but 2 championships in 5 years does not measure up to what the Patriots have done. It doesn't measure up to what the Cowboys have done. It's only this much better than what the Rams have done. The Rams went to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years.
Right.
And so, I know that, they're, what's the Talladega Nights saying? If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah.
Okay. and that's funny.
Yeah.
But in reality, the Rams almost won 2 Super Bowls in 4 years. In reality, the Buffalo Bills were in 4 straight Super Bowls under Marv Levy.
Yeah.
Still, to me, that's more incredible. Obviously, it doesn't count the same.
Yeah.
That's more incredible than winning 2 Super Bowls in 5 years. 4 straight years, you keep going back and keep climbing the mountain. Totally amazing. So I think that we're bending the definition of dynasty a little bit here, taking nothing away from teams that have accomplished great things in this era or recent ones. But the New England Patriots under Belichick and Brady, make sure they're inserted into the conversation. And the 90s Cowboys, who did 3 titles in 4 years, let's make sure they're in the conversation too.
When we look at Patrick Mahomes and Steph Curry, who do you think is more exciting or did more for their sport?
Well, they do something above and beyond just how they play.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're engaging personalities. And they've done, and I'm not saying their personalities aren't real, they absolutely are. But I think they also, in this day and age of marketing and television and all the rest,
they're likable on commercials.
They're likable on
funny
commercials. Right.
And social media presence.
There you go. And so it's really important, I think, for somebody to grab that steering wheel. It helps the league. It helps the sport grow. It helps kids want to be. And listen, once upon a time, we'll speak frankly now, once upon a time, like the movie industry, the way that they got kids to smoke cigarettes is the cigarette companies paid money to the movie studios. That's why if you go a little before your time, it's even before my time, but if you look at movies in the 40s and 50s, everybody's got a cigarette.
Right.
What, everybody smoked? No. The tobacco companies paid the Hollywood studios, saying, stick a cigarette in his mouth, please. Well, we get to do it a little bit differently now, but these leagues, they want kids to want to be football players, like football, and to be basketball fans, and to be football fans, and to eventually buy season tickets to the NBA team and the NFL team. And so in that regard, in a very pleasant way, Steph Curry is bringing a generation of kids to liking the NBA, and Patrick Mahomes is doing the same thing in the NFL. And of course, there's other guys who do that. Lamar Jackson does that. Lamar Jackson is just extremely appealing.
LeBron James does that.
LeBron James does that. Now, that doesn't mean everybody likes LeBron James. No. There's some point at which you get so popular that you're just a natural lightning rod.
Yeah, well, you know the saying, if everybody likes you, you're doing something wrong.
There is that. And then there's just the haters. And there's people that are just going to be contrarians.
Right.
The Cowboys are propped up in this certain America's team way, and the players who are smart do their best to live up to that. And I don't just mean smart for selling the sport. it's good for selling yourself. Steph Curry, in addition to the fact he'll never have to buy a beer in San Francisco the rest of his life, can do anything he wants with his life because of the personality he's built. So is Patrick Mahomes. On a lesser level, whether you're in Boston or Buffalo or Baltimore or wherever you are, in addition to winning championships, if you allow yourself to be known a little bit as engaging, if you do things for the community and get involved in that way, whether you want to someday open an insurance company or a car dealership or your mom and pop restaurant, you open up a Ravens player restaurant in Baltimore, as long as the food's okay, you have a chance to be successful for life. So those personalities that have decided to embrace that are doing it not only for the good of the sport, they're doing it for the good of their own families.
Quarterback Patrick Mahomes won NFL MVP this season, but let's talk about maybe somebody else who would have your vote as the best playmaker in the league.
Well, you know who's never going to win an MVP? Is Micah Parsons.
You took the words out of my mouth. When it comes to playmaker, the first person that I think about is Micah Parsons. He'd have to get 30 sacks to break the trend of quarterbacks always winning the MVP. In Buffalo, Josh Allen, it just seems like he's going to win an MVP. Just a matter of time. The talent, the personality, the teams looks like it's not going anywhere. That's an MVP guy waiting to happen. He's got to get Patrick Mahomes out of his way in more ways than one. There's some other guys who, you go down the odds maker list now, like Matthew Stafford with the Rams, who won an MVP in the Super Bowl. He's barely on the map anymore as an MVP candidate. Underdog.
And maybe it's tied to the fact because the Rams this year, going forward in 2023, they are underdogs. They still got the star quality guys, Ramsey, Donald, Stafford, Kupp coming back. But the idea is that, and the head coach, but the idea is that they've run out of gas. I don't know if that idea is correct, but the odds makers certainly don't see them as being able to compete with the very best in the division, which of course this past year included the Seattle Seahawks. Surprisingly.
Making that playoff run.
And the 49ers, not surprisingly at all.
As we head into NFL offseason, who is an NFL team that you think might be a sneaky surprise or you're optimistic about?
What if the Falcons solved the quarterback dilemma?
Interesting.
And of course, Matt Ryan at the end, as brilliant as he's been for this franchise, a problem at the end. He wasn't Matt Ryan anymore. He gets replaced by Marcus Mariota. Didn't work out. Placeholder at best, and then it turned out he wasn't even that. The rookie Ritter gets his chance at the end of the season. Now, there's people in the building who think very highly of him. But is Baltimore going to do its deal with Lamar Jackson or not? The fact that somebody inside the Ravens served as a source to leak to NFL Network their willingness to at least listen to the idea of a windfall, is the word used, in trade. The fact that even came up, that's a bad sign. That means that feathers are ruffled or that the organization's trying to poke the bear a little bit here. But if they really are willing to listen, then the Atlanta Falcons should be calling. And for people that say, well, the Falcons would never do that, that'd be spending too much. They just tried to do it a year ago with Deshaun Watson.
That's true.
The Lamar Jackson trade blueprint would be very similar to the Deshaun Watson trade blueprint. And by the way, the Houston Texans got a windfall because they did what they did. And they ended up not having to spend $250 million guaranteed on that quarterback. They suffered through a terrible season now, but now the Texans can go chase a quarterback almost certainly with the second round, or the second overall pick. They can also call Derek Carr, as a lot of teams might be doing that. Atlanta might do that too. But the Texans are probably more than this far away, more than just a quarterback away, but a rookie with the second overall pick would accelerate the pace. And the Falcons should really get serious about checking into how serious the Ravens are.